Dhomonique, are you there?
Actress Molly Fitzgerald made her first court appearance today in the stabbing death of her mother.
Their hallways were missing something, like maybe some color.
A little pop, a little sparkle, you know? Well, now they're getting plenty of it.
Thank you.
Look at this.
Great.
Thank you, Tom.
You're great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I walked into a room about half this size, and my entire team was in the room. DJ, bring that back. Put out. Woo! Yeah, DJ. The champ is here.
Oh my God. Okay.
The champ is here.
Oh my God. Oh.
I told Tom I was going to do that. He's like, oh, no. Take a step back for a second and talk about your father. Obviously, you are the woman you are today because of your family. And I know you mentioned to me earlier, your father, his drive, his ambition. Talk to me more about your dad and how he encouraged you to be the person you are today. What is one thing about you that you can share with our audience today that's not currently online?
As a single guy in LA, I can't get a date for anything.
10,000! From 1 to 30 million.
Our next guest is a 3-time Emmy Award-winning journalist with 20 years of TV experience.
Dhomonique Murphy.
Welcome, Dhomonique.
My name is Dhomonique Murphy.
Dominique Rex Murphy won the title on Friday.
Virginia.
Let's play true or false to get started.
Okay.
All right. True or false. Sound fun? All right. I've been reading a lot of things, Tom, so I want to dispel some myths or maybe learn a little bit more.
Okay.
True or false? You boxed your rabbi.
I did. I boxed my rabbi.
True or false? You've been arrested 7 times.
I have been arrested 7 times. I've been arrested for public nudity at an old folks' home. Streaking. I just want to say, nothing weird. Yeah.
Let's talk about courage. All right. This is a topic I love to talk about. And when I think of you, Tom, I think about a courageous individual. Someone who stepped out in faith and said, I'm just going to go and I'm going to do it. And so when we talk about comedy, and when you moved to Minneapolis, you won a nice accolade there in Minnesota, which kind of skyrocketed your career as a comedian. What was it like the very first time you got on a stage and you looked out and you saw a sea of strangers, if you will, looking back at you and you had to perform? What was that like?
Well, I was so dumb, I thought it was awesome.
Who's the one?
Have you ever had Happy Joe's Pizza, by the way?
I haven't,
Their
but I
taco
need to
pizza
have
is
it.
outrageously good.
Wow. What
If you're ever in
toppings?
Davenport or Ottumwa, I'll buy it for you.
Okay, deal.
Yeah,
How do
go
I make that happen?
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Who's the one person in your life, Tom, that you credit for your success? I love that you bring up the topic of service, because I know service to others is a very important principle to you as well. Tell everyone what you do for your community back home in Iowa.
Well, for one thing, I'm sober, and I'm in recovery. And
When you're going through that storm, Tom, when you wake up and you're like, gosh, things are not going right, I don't feel good, I'm not happy, I don't know why I'm not happy. A lot of people don't realize why. They're struggling, they're suffering. There was actually a Gallup poll that came out recently and said 93% of people right now in the world are disengaged. They're not happy and they're complacent. They're just going through the motions. So for someone who has gone through that, who's found themselves in this storm, if you will, what advice do you have to get over that?
well, every day I do a gratitude list.
Thank you, Tom.
You're great. Thank you very much.
This is Larry Namer. Come on, guys. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Woo! Let's get into it. The questions that people probably want to know, but they won't necessarily ask. That's what I'm going to do today, okay? Was there ever anyone you met who was interviewing to be featured on one of your shows, one of your segments on your network that you passed over? You said, nah, I don't think they're going to be a big star. And they turned out to be a big star?
Yeah, sure. There was this kid named Seacrest that kept coming in. And, you know, after like the sixth time, I said, Ryan, you're a nice boy, but this is not for you.
Well, Larry, we call you a global media mogul. This is a philosophical question, by the way. What do you call yourself?
A global media mogul.
You're super visible all over the internet. Google Larry Namer, by the way. So what is one thing that I do not know about you that I cannot find online? What is one thing about you that you can share with our audience today that's not currently online?
As a single guy in LA, I can't get a date for anything. It's since
Well, let's change this, huh? Secret knock? Dreams happen? How many single ladies do we have in the house? Oh, look. So let's kind of segue into this for a minute. So what stands out for you? So if you're looking for a mate, Larry, what are you looking for in a mate?
Well, it's hard for me being in the media and entertainment business because everybody that ever wants to date me is an aspiring actress. And all they want to talk about is their next project and stuff like that. My interests are much, much deeper than that. I mean, I think there's so much stuff going on in the world that's so much more important than like what my next TV show is or next movie is and stuff like that. So it's really somebody who kind of finds Hollywood as funny as I do. So I could go to the Academy Awards, I could do that if I'm with somebody who we basically go to laugh at everybody else who's there.
So if we find your next girlfriend here in the room, then I get credit for that, right?
There you go.
Okay. Let's make this happen, ladies. Let's make this happen. Larry, describe yourself in one word for me.
Humble.
My favorite types of stories for everyone out there are the stories of people who start from not a lot and they grow into something massive. This is what I love to interview people on. People who come from small beginnings, but yet they have this mindset of no matter what, I am going to be unstoppable. No matter what, I'm going to push and drive and grow. And you had that vision of what it is you were going to achieve. So what do you credit, Larry, as your success coming from where you were to where you are today?
Well, I mean, other than when my mother dropped me on my head, which is actually a true story.
It's another thing I just want to spotlight as we wrap up. You are such a family man, and I love this. I had an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with Johnny, your son, who's here as well. And I admire you, not only for your business acumen, but for your heart and for your love of family.
Yeah, well, just quick on that, when Greg and I really got to know each other is when he was doing the movie Wish Man about Frank Shankowitz, who did Make-A-Wish Foundation. My son, John, who's here, is actually a Wish kid. 15 years old, John was diagnosed with brain cancer, and he wasn't ready to check out, so he's here, and cancer-free, some 16 years later.
Yes.
Well, on that note, can I have a hug, Larry? I'm a huge fan. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dhomonique.